What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Progressive Action TV show. I am your host, Tramel Thompson. And look, I'm not even going to waste no time. This is going to be that show that is going to touch some nerves. We're going to talk about the Brooklyn Nets suspending Kyrie Irving. We're going to talk about the red media, as Kanye dubs it. We're going to talk about Shaq and his foolery. We're going to talk about the Brooklyn Nets, Joe Tsai. We're going to talk about some things, right? And I want to premise this whole video to say that I, Tramel Thompson, I'm not anti-Semitic, right? I can't be, just like how Kyrie said, but I'm not anti-Jewish. I'm not none of that, right? In fact, I look at the Jewish community as something that we should have for black people. When I go inside the Jewish community, I see Jewish hospitals, I see Jewish stores, I see Jews supporting Jews. The dollar lasts way longer in the Jewish community than the black community. I mean, when I look at the Jewish community, I see what Malcolm X wanted for blacks, right? I cannot be envious of that. Not at all. So I am not anti-Jewish. I'm not anti-Semitic. I want to say that. And I also want to say a lot of people know that I've met Kyrie. I have spoken to Kyrie plenty of times. I'm not speaking on behalf of Kyrie Irving at all, right? What I will say is that every time I have spoken to Kyrie, it has been positive. It has been about helping people, not a specific people, not only black people, helping people of all races, right? That's what Kyrie is about. So this is an unfair narrative of what's being spun on Kyrie. So the first thing I want to talk about is this whole red media that Kanye dubbed it as. What is the red media, right? So it was this screenshot that Kanye had, or Ye, as he likes to be called, and it says, "Who controls your mind?" So the green that you see there, that represents. Let me make sure I get all of this right because I do not want to screw none of this up. Um, that represents the LGBT community. The blue represents non-white, and the red represents Jewish, right? And these are who is controls or owns certain companies. So if you look down the left, that list is a long list. We talking about Universal Studios, 20th Century Fox, ABC, CBS, CNN News, Columbia Pictures, DreamWorks, Warner Brothers, ESPN, Fox, Washington Post, Metro, Goldwyn Mayer, MTV, Music Television, Nickelodeon Kids, USA TV, and the list goes on. When Kanye said red media, he was talking about who owns most of the stuff that controls what we see, what we hear, what we read, what we watch, entertainment, who controls most of it. And according to the screenshot that Kanye had, it looks as if the Jewish people owns everything of, what we see, right? It looks like that is the case, right? So when we hear music being played, anti-black music, all of this trap music, this what they call it now, drill music. When you look at everything that's selling, that's being pushed by the majority, by the major corporations, the major companies, they are Jewish owned. This is what Kanye was saying. This is a fact, right? They push anti-black music. They push um genocide music. They push incarceration music, right? Of no other race than black people. When we go use black people, it's because that's what people understand. We are Hebrews, we not black, whatever they want to say it is. But they push this anti-black narrative, right? Everything that we hear, most of the music that you hear today is anti-black and it's controlled by Jewish people. This is what Kanye said. Now, as a result, now Kanye was saying some wild things, right? but not everything Kanye says is wrong. Not everything Kanye says is wrong, right? But as a result, for the stuff that Kanye did say, right? They canceled him. Adidas gone, Balenciaga gone, Gap gone. His lawyers left him, and that is a result. What we're seeing, they calling it cancellation, but it's not really cancellation. What they're implementing is the social credit system. It's a Chinese system, right? So the social credit system is a national credit rating and blacklist being developed by the government of the People's Republic of China. The Social Credit Initiative calls for the establishment of a record system so that businesses, individuals, and government institutions can be tracked and evaluated for trustworthiness. There are multiple different forms of social credit system being experimented with, while the national regulatory method is based on blacklisting and whitelisting. The program is mainly focused on businesses and is very fragmented, contrary to the popular misconceptions that is focused on individuals and is a centralized system. So, what we're seeing right now is the social credit system being implemented in America on black men who can't be trusted because they are allegedly speaking anti-Semitism, right? So this is what we are seeing in real time with Kanye West and Kyrie Irving. Now it says I'm gonna read this again, this line. The Social Credit Initiative calls for the establishment of a record system so that businesses, individuals, and government institutions can be tracked and evaluated for trustworthiness. These institutions in America can't trust Kanye, can't trust Kyrie because allegedly they are going against them, which is not the truth. Now, as a result of Kyrie not apologizing, and why should he apologize? He didn't say anything wrong. The Brooklyn Nets suspended Kyrie for at least 5 games, right? And they put out, I'm gonna put the statement that they put out today. So the Brooklyn Nets put out this statement. Over the last few days, we have made repeated attempts to work with Kyrie Irving to help him understand the harm and danger of his words and actions, which began with him publicizing a film containing deeply disturbing anti-Semitic hate. We believe that taking the path of education in this challenging situation would be the right one, and thought that we had made progress with our joint commitment to eradicating hate and intolerance. We were dismayed today when given an opportunity in a media session that Kyrie refused to unequivocally say he has no anti Semitic beliefs nor acknowledge specific hateful material in the film. This was not the first time he had the opportunity but failed to clarify. Such failure to disavow anti Semitism when given a clear opportunity to do so is deeply disturbing, is against the values of our organization, and constitutes conduct detrimental to the team. Accordingly, we are of the view that he is currently unfit to be associated with the Brooklyn Nets. We have decided that Kyrie will serve a suspension without pay until he satisfies a series of objective remedial measures that address the harmful impact of his conduct, and the suspension period serves is no less than 5 games. Now, what they really mean is that Kyrie, you're not going to be a Brooklyn Net until you apologize. That's what they're saying. Now, I'm going to break this down to you guys, right? This is going to be broke down. Let's play the clip that got Kyrie suspended.
Having anti-Semitic beliefs. Again, I'm going to repeat. I don't know how the label becomes justified because you guys ask me the same questions over and over again. But this is not going to turn into a spin around cycle of questions upon questions. I told you guys how I felt. I respect all walks of life and embrace all walks of life. That's where I sit.
I think what people want to hear, though, is just a yes or no on that question. Yes or no.
I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from. I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
He said that he cannot be anti-Semitic if he knows where he comes from. This is a fact, right? Now, another problem that I have, when black men put something on their social media, must we make clear or clarify what we agree with and what we don't agree with? What if he posted the film? He didn't say that he agreed with the contents of the film, of saying that, the Holocaust wasn't the Holocaust. He didn't say that, right? We don't know what his thought process was posting the film. But for some reason, he got mislabeled with an anti-Semitic narrative. Now, he said that he said, I can't be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from, right? That's because blacks are the original Jews. We are the Semites, the Shemites, whichever one you want to call it. We are that. Now, let's get into the definition of what Semitic is. Relating to or denoting a family of languages that includes Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic, and certain ancient languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian, constituting the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. Relating to the peoples who speak Semitic languages, especially Hebrew and Arabic. Now, I've personally never spoken to Kyrie what he identifies as, but if I had to take a wild guess, I would think that Kyrie identifies as being Hebrew. If I had to take a guess, I don't know, right? But the Semitic people are Afro-Asiatic, right? That is black people, right? So when Kyrie say he can't be anti-Semitic, he's saying that I can't be that because I am Semitic. How can I be anti myself? And that is the ground that he's standing on. Now, this past week, the Nets and Kyrie had a joint statement, right? And that joint statement was actually a couple of pages long, but I'm only going to focus on the first page. It says joint statement from Kyrie Irving, the Brooklyn Nets, and the Anti-Defamation League. The events of the past week have sparked many emotions within the Nets organization, our Brooklyn community, and the nation. The public discourse that followed has brought greater awareness to the challenges we face as a society when it comes to combating hate and hate speech. We are ready to take on this challenge, and we recognize that this is a unique moment to make a lasting impact. To promote education within our community, Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets will each donate $500,000 towards causes and organizations that work to eradicate hate and intolerance in our communities. The Nets and Kyrie Irving will work with ADL, a nonprofit organization devoted to fighting anti-Semitism and all types of hate that undermine justice and fair treatment for every individual. This is an effort to develop educational programming that is inclusive and will comprehensively combat all forms of anti-Semitism and bigotry. Let's be clear about this for a second. Let's be clear about this, right? If the ADL feels that people are hating on them, people are not apologizing, they're not being sympathetic or showing empathy to their causes, why is their money good? If you calling someone anti-Semitic or you're saying that this person doesn't like Jewish people, why is their money good? Why are you accepting their money? Not all money is good money. If you feel that Kyrie is a certain type of way and he's not apologizing, he's not being genuine, Why is his $500,000 good? Right? And also, the ADL says that um, they will comprehensively combat all forms of anti-Semitism and bigotry. I don't see the ADL standing up for black people. I don't see the ADL challenging record labels saying that why are you promoting black on black um hatred in your music? Why are you um letting music go on your airways talking about killing blacks and incarcerating blacks and other antisocial behaviors of blacks? Because if an artist was to make a music was to make music talking about Jews killing Jews and and I'm going to do this to you, I'm going to do that to you, that music will be pulled from the airways ASAP. So when the ADL said they fight all types of anti-Semitism and bigotry of all kinds, no, that's untrue. That's fake. That's false because then the ADL will be at every record label, every radio station protesting against this type of bigotry, right? They don't do that. So I find that to be very, very problematic and straight hypocrisy. Right now, of course, Brooklyn Nets owner Joe Tsai, who is Chinese, right, got in on the act and he tweeted this the other day. He said, I'm disappointed that Kyrie appears to support a film based on a book full of anti Semitic disinformation. I want to sit down and make sure he understands this is hurtful to all of us. And as a man of faith, it is wrong to promote hate based on race, ethnicity, and religion. I can never say that word for some reason, but y'all get where I'm coming from. Who is Joe Tsai to say that he wants to sit down and make sure he understands? I have a problem when non-black people talk to black people and tell them they want to make sure we understand, as if we are kids, as if we are less than, as if we don't understand. Kyrie did not do anything wrong. He didn't. He did not promote hatred. He did not, right? If there was some offensive things said in that movie, how do we know Kyrie agreed with those things? Right? Kyrie is just saying that I'm not anti-Semitic because I can't be, because I know where I come from. And if you read the dictionary and you look up the word Semitism or Semitic, it describes someone who looks like Kyrie, right? And that's what he's standing on. But for Joe Tsai to say that BS, right? When is the NBA going to suspend Joe Tsai? There's allegations against Brooklyn Nets owner Joe Tsai resurfaced about his company funding genocide. All you need to about the Uyghur Muslims controversy, right? So it says that in April 2022, ESPN allegedly reported that Brooklyn Nets team owner Joe Tsai was financially supporting the cultural genocide of Uyghur Muslims in China. The Alibaba co-founder invested the Megvli, and since time also that are reportedly used in shepherding minor ethnic groups into barbed wire camps for re-education to Xinjiang, right? Uh, barbed wire, barbed wire camps. That sound like concentration camps to me, right? But nobody is talking about sitting Joe Tsai down to make sure he understands. Nobody is in the NBA. Adam Silver is not talking about suspending Joe Tsai or making him sell the team. But when it comes to Kyrie, just for posting something on his social media, they ready to implement the social credit system on him and attempt to cancel him, right? All because he's not apologizing for being an anti-Semite. He cannot be an anti-Semite, right? And then you have these other, see, one thing about this system, right? They love to use blacks against blacks. And when you in the NBA it's easy to find a black to talk down on another black. You have to go no further than Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal. And I was a fan of Shaq, and I say was because it's BS, right? Uh, Shaq is a big hypocrite. Shaq is a huge hypocrite. And I want to get into the comments that Shaq said. This is going to be mind blowing, guys. This one right here is going to be mind blowing. And I want you guys to listen to Shaq. I'm going to break some stuff down that's going to blow your mind about Shaq. Check it out.
The game that we used to love and we promote, it brings people together. And it hurts me sometimes when we have to sit up here to talk about stuff that divides the game. Now we got to answer for what this idiot has done. I stand for equality of all people. I've always been like that. Don't matter what religion, no matter where you're from. I could say shalom, salam alaikum, ni hao, say bon, because that's how I was raised. So I don't really want to sit up here and answer questions for what he's done. If you're looking at me, it's my job to make people happy. I can't speak for him and, answer for what he's doing. It's obviously by his answers and the way he answers, he doesn't really care.
Now, is this the way an NBA veteran should handle? Because Shaq is an OG. Is this the way that you handle a younger brother by calling him an idiot in front of the enemy? Right? Talking about you was raised a certain kind of way. Well, what if Kyrie wasn't raised the way that you felt that he should be raised? Why do you try to villainize him on national TV in front of the enemy? Why? Right? And this is not how we should conduct ourselves. Why is he an idiot? All right, you wasn't raised that way, Shaq. I heard you tell a story time after time again. It sounded like you was abused as a child. Your pop smacked you in front of people, did all this stuff because you didn't dunk the ball. Shaq, everybody wasn't raised the same way. This is not how you handle him. You the OG, right? But at the same time, you're very hypocritical. Now, this is going to blow y'all mind, people. Check this out. I want y'all to pay attention to this clip right here. Listen closely.
Shalom, shalom, Hebrews. Ron Dalton Jr. giving you a special announcement. This Thursday coming up, we're going to be at the Plex 12 Theater in Newark, New Jersey. If you haven't seen the first movie, well, actually, if you haven't seen the second movie, but you...
Now, y'all heard him say, look on the screen. Look on the left. It's the second down from the top. He said that they're going to be at the Plex 12 Theater, 360-394 Springfield Avenue, Newark, New Jersey, right? Now, I know you're saying, well, what does that mean? I'm going to show you guys what that means. All related to Shaq. Guess who's the owner of that movie theater? Shaquille O'Neal. Now, that movie was shown in the Plex in 2019, right? Shaq been the owner of the Plex since 2012. Shaq has a new kind of movie project theater owner. O'Neal, a four-time NBA champion, grew up in Newark and now co-owns and operates the Plex 12 Theater near downtown. O'Neal and Newark Mayor Cory Booker formally opened a renovated, expanded theater Friday afternoon. Shaq is the owner of the Plex theaters. So Shaq is condemning Kyrie for reposting the movie in his stories, but Shaq had the movie playing in his theaters. Where's the cancellation of Shaq? And everybody knows Newark is a black neighborhood. Why is nobody talking about canceling Shaq? Now, we're not done with Shaq yet. Shaq is also, let me get this right. Shaq is also the owner of 17 Auntie Annie Pretzels restaurants and 9 Papa John franchise units, right? We remember what happened with Papa John's, right? Papa John's founder used N-word on conference call. Shaq invested in a company where the owner uses derogatory language towards and about black people. Shaq invested in the company. Why? Right? Why? Is Shaq, I have to ask this question. Is Shaq anti-black? What's going on here, Shaq? You condemn Kyrie for reposting the movie in which you say now we idiots. Well, we have to talk about that. Nah, Shaq, you ain't have to talk about that on TV. Your handlers made you address that on TV because you could have talked about basketball. If that movie has absolutely nothing to talk about basketball, nothing whatsoever. You chose to talk about that because your handlers told you to talk about that, right? And this is what we are dealing with. Now, I'm probably going to make another video just highlighting Shaq hypocritical moments, but I definitely want you guys to watch this, share this, and show the people how hypocritical Shaquille O'Neal is. And I want to tell you guys, my microphone is blocking it. As you can see, it's tribe season. It's tribe season. Wise is the old owl. And us tribes, this is when we're finding our tribe. And it's not only black people in our tribe, it's Jewish people in our tribe. It's Caucasian people in our tribe. There's Muslims in our tribe. There's all walks of life in our tribe. And we got to start coming together. We got to pray for Kanye. We got to pray for Kyrie. We must pray for everyone who has the power and the platform to speak truth to power. They are not ready to have that conversation on who the original Jews is. They are not ready to have that conversation that a black Hebrew cannot be anti-Semitic because we are the original Shemites. It's tribe season, y'all. Let's pray for our brothers. Let's pray for our sisters who decide to speak out against everything that's going on. Share this video out. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.